the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here. All right, this is my agenda. All right, welcome everybody. So tonight we are being recorded live, as we usually are. So if anybody does not wish to be recorded, you can head home and watch us tonight on channel 22. We got bumped to 22 this week because there's a meeting at Town Hall and they can only broadcast channel 9. So having said that, if anybody wants to go, now's your time. But, okay, there's a lot of people here tonight. We got a lot of things going on. We got some kids, that we're gonna celebrate, and, let's hear what everybody has to say. But all I ask is everybody acts like adults, and because oftentimes we see on social media where, it can be perceived as bullying because they go back and forth and they rip this one apart, rip that one apart. And as I always say, kids are watching. So let's think before we speak sometimes, okay? So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna actually pass on my report until after the kids leave because it's gonna be a little involved and I don't really wanna put the kids, I want the kids to be able to come up and do their thing. So I'm gonna turn it over to the superintendent of the schools for his report.
All right, yeah, mine's not really
Yeah, I had a feeling.
that long. I did put in your packet, basically, there was a couple questions that came out since our last meeting. So what I supplied you with hard copies of, but I already emailed you, would have been enrollment data, student-to-teacher ratio data. That's a Google sheet that I probably shared with you late last week. And then the benchmark assessments for the elementary and the secondary. So I gave you packets for all that. So there's nothing to talk about with that, but I just wanted you to have paper copies of it as well. I talked to the chair of the policy subcommittee. We need to have a policy subcommittee, and actually one of the meeting agenda items really has to go to policy subcommittee for e-bikes and like the rental agreement. We have a couple procedural things we have to make note of because of different groups. So that has to go to policy subcommittee, so I apologize. So the second agenda item can come off because that has to go to policy first. We need a maintenance subcommittee meeting as well to talk about utility costs. I gave that. We are gonna, along with the assessment data that I gave you, next meeting on the 9th, we're gonna have a presentation of district and standardized assessments that we have and how it's used. It's gonna be an overview. Ms. Turbin will cover that. And then later in the year, I'll have the principals come in at the end of the year to discuss how they track the data along the way and if they have any results or information that they can pass along. So I did want to say that because it does seem to be a popular concern, or not a concern. They want the information, so it's a question. So we'll answer it formally with a presentation next meeting. Also, Mr. Sereno will be here next meeting because the athletes that were going to be recognized last meeting that got bumped to this meeting, a lot of them are at, I believe the item recognition is happening as we speak. So they got bumped again. So they will in fact be here on April the 9th. And the other thing I did want to mention, because it involves some of the school committee members, is Dr. Scazzarella has the NEAS visit coming up, starting on Monday. Actually, don't they come in on Sunday? But so that's next week. So that's something that I know you're probably going to be on a committee or a panel to discuss certain things with them. And the last thing is the MCAS kicked off this week. I know the sophomores, didn't the sophomores take the ELA earlier this week? And the Belmonte, it was funny because I got a chance to go around yesterday in between the sessions because it was the third graders. So they're very funny about it because this is their first crack at it. So some were happy, some were tired. I asked if everybody was ready to go for today, and I got a lot of yeses and one, no, I still need to. But this was yesterday, so I'm sure he was fine today. So, but they took it really seriously. They were very proud of it. We had a lot of kids take a lot of time. When I talked to the proctors and the principal, they were about half the school continued after lunch. So they took it very seriously. They took their writing very seriously. So I'm really proud of the third graders. I know it's a big lift for third graders. It's a big adjustment, but they did take it very seriously. And I know Mr. Blair has got the competition going. So you should know that your students were trying to move up on the charts. So that's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hashem. Next up, we have student representatives. I know Bree likes to kick it off. Where's Bree? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, it's Maria. All right, come on up.
Hi, everyone. Long time no see. For those who don't know me, my name is Maria Silva. I am the senior class president.
My name is Megan Xavier. I'm the class vice president.
My name is Agatha Gomes, and I'm the class treasurer.
We do have a bulleted list for you guys today on some updates that we have about senior week and what we have going for the rest of the year. We're going to have Agatha talking about some upcoming fundraisers that we'll be having.
So our first fundraiser that's coming up is we have canning at Kowloon and J. Pachi's. J. Pachi's is going to be on the 4th of April, and the 3rd.
No, you're right.
Oh, the 4th. And then Kowloon is going to be on the 3rd. And then J. Pachi's is going to happen between 3 and 7th on the Saturday before Easter. And Kowloon is going to happen on Friday, the 3rd, at night. And then we have a Double Good popcorn fundraiser coming up, and half of the proceeds come back to us, so we get 50% of everything we raise on their website. And last but not least, we have a Dine to Donate night at Texas Roadhouse with a raffle table. That's going to happen on the 30th of April. And then that's going to happen between 3 and 10, and then you would just need to show them this flyer to show that you are with the senior class and you're trying to support us. And yeah, those are all the fundraisers we have coming up in the month of April.
Awesome.
And I'm going to talk about our senior week, which we pretty much have finalized and all down. So first we have senior breakfast, which is going to be on the day of the 29th, which is our walkout. And we're going to have a Cookie Monster truck outside. Once everyone's done walking out, everyone can grab some ice cream. And then we have Field Day, which is that Monday, and there will be a food truck there. Our senior banquet will be on the Tuesday, and we'll have a hypnotist after. So Monday night, and we'll have a hypnotist after. I think it will be sponsored by Kowloon. And then we have our elementary walkthrough, which is on Tuesday. And then we have scholarship and awards night also, the usual. And then I'll pass on.
On that Wednesday, we do have the prom, and we have a couple more details on that. On the Thursday, we do have the Red Sox game, which we were able to purchase 100 tickets, and we're going to put out a Google form about a month prior to the actual date, and then we'll post that the form will go live around like 7 p.m., and students will have access to that form, and it's like first come, first serve. But I believe we should have it covered for all students who want to go. We do have a little bit of pushing that we have to do to earn a little bit more of money, because we realize that the coach buses is like a very big difference from the yellow buses, and we do want to make majority of senior week free. So our fundraising goal up until then will be somewhere around like $5,000 to be able to like cut even and be having some room for extra expenses like water for field day and balloons for the promenade, as well as decorations for the prom as well. So for the next couple months, we're going to be pushing to reach this $5,000 goal, so we can have the rest of the week free for all of our students. But other than that, that's it.
Awesome. What event you looking forward to the most during senior week?
Probably prom for me. I like
Yeah.
prom. What do you guys?
I was hoping to say the elementary walkthrough, because I like that one.
If it was at the Lyndhurst, then
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want to walk through there now, but yeah.
yeah, not now. No.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate everything you guys do, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a tough act to follow there, girls, so.
Hi, my name is Jordan Ripley Dominski.
Hi, I'm Sydney Ferreira.
We're a part of the Saugus High Class of 2027 board, so the junior class. We have a few things we'd like to share. First, we have our junior prom on April 2nd at Rosario's, which we are still selling tickets for. Next, we have a Louis Vuitton raffle. We are selling $25 tickets that will enter you in a raffle to win a real Louis Vuitton. And the winner will be drafted announced on Mother's Day. We are also participating in the K&K Easter egg fundraiser, and we would like to thank them for including us. And on the 25th of April, we have a class car wash at the Senior Center.
What day was that?
25th.
25th?
April.
That's all.
That's
Oh,
all,
thank
sorry.
Oh, great job.
Thank you. Good
Now,
job.
let me ask a question about the car wash, because I see it all the time. We go to all these car washes for all different sports teams. A lot of times it's the parents that are washing the cars while the kids
Oh,
are
no,
sitting
no,
around.
no,
no.
no.
All right,
We
all
will be
right.
washing them.
That's what I'm, because I'm one of the track parents, one of the senior parents. I'm not getting out there
Oh,
washing
No,
the
no,
cars.
no, no. It's always us.
We are great car
I
washes,
appreciate
don't
that.
worry.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
guys. Have a nice
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you do that egg fundraiser? Me too. Love it. It's my favorite one.
And here comes the one constant.
Is Brady, oh, there she is.
Hi, my name is Brianna Vido, and I have some updates from the class of 2028. So in the next month, we're going to probably start at the beginning of April. We're going to be selling world's finest chocolates for $2 a chocolate. We also are doing a Chipotle restaurant night. We don't know when we're going to do it, but we're going to have it soon. I also just want to go over elections. So we have a whole new board. So I was just going to go over who was elected. Our class president is Tori Tum. Our new vice president is Robbie Champy. Our new treasurer is Rama Rabbit, and I was elected for secretary. And then I also had a question. So we heard in the past that other classes were able to get a voicemail home on Sundays to parents in this whole Saugus district about our fundraisers. And I was wondering if that'd be possible or something similar to it. Like if an email or a phone call could go out to parents on a Sunday night, say if we were canning at Kowloon on Friday, if people would come to support. Or if something similar would be possible to that.
The robocall.
Yeah, I don't see why not, yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
Email you?
Yep.
Okay, I'll email you soon. And that's it. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank
You always
you.
do a great job, Bree. Thank you
Good
very
job.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we're gonna have discussion on Dow Street parking, one-way changes at the BSA.
Yes.
Is that you, Mr. Gould?
Yeah, that's me. I did a site survey with Mr. Blair, Mr. Hashem, the the crossing guard. And what we have out here, we have a one-way that comes all the way down Dow Street over to Adams Ave. And it doesn't make sense. If you're trying to come out this way, it makes more sense to be able to go left. So there's teachers park here. So from this parking lot, if you go out here, there's a sign right now that says you must go right. Well, it just puts you into the traffic and it ends up a nightmare. So the crossing guard, I believe, was the one that came up with the idea. Why don't we try going with the flow that way? And we've been doing it, Mr. Blair here still, a month.
From what I've understood, he's been doing that since last year.
Okay.
No one knew about it.
Nobody knew about it, so,
That's on.
but he's got it under control.
Sure does.
But the signs say one way this way, so we have to fix that. We have to change the afternoon. Right now, it says 7:15 to 9 in the morning for drop-off, which makes sense, because everybody goes this way with the flow. Oops. And then in the afternoon, it says 1:30 to 3. So we'll just eliminate the 1:30 to 3, so you can go left. That's one of the changes. And of course, we need the selectmen to go ahead and approve that. And then the second part of it is parking on this side of the street going that way. If we just put no parking from noon to 3, that way there'll be no choke point. If we have parking on both sides of the street, it'll be a choke point with people trying to go this way. So we're asking for no parking on this side of the street from this entrance down to Denver, and then the change of the sign out here to eliminate the afternoon. Those are the two things, and then if I can get a vote from the committee, then I will turn it over to Ms. Panetta to go ahead and get with the fire and police and get it approved.
I'll second it. Do I have to second?
No, you're gonna make a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion.
Chair will second for discussion. Any discussion?
I think it's a great idea.
All right,
Nothing
And
changes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0.
All right, thank you. I'll go to the selectmen. Thanks.
Thanks,
Next step,
Dennis.
thank you, Mr. Gould. Okay, next up, we got discussion of building use rental
I
procedures.
already told you that we're gonna have to put that to subcommittee on policy subcommittee, so, thank you.
Good enough. Okay, next, I'm gonna go back into the chairman report. Now, again, it's just a report, there's no banter with this one, it's just, and we got public comment, you guys come up and say whatever you want. But, my job as school committee chairman is to kind of be out in front of messes that we see, and, the whole budget process, it really, the air needs to be cleared on this thing. And, normally I'm a pretty free speaker, but I actually wrote stuff down because I know that I'm gonna miss some points, and I don't wanna get off on the rails, So again, I'm not looking to argue or embarrass anybody. It's just, sometimes you gotta have a good, honest perspective. So someone that's been around, someone that sees the same narrative year after year. We gotta be honest with ourselves. All of us up here, with 5 parents. That's all we are, is 5 parents. We have 10 school-age kids between us. Nobody up here is looking to hurt the school department or any other thing. We're not looking to hurt the town. We're looking to make education better, just like everybody else. That's why we got involved in the first place. That's why I got involved. I got involved in 2019, because I didn't like a lot of things that were going on. I found out quickly that, politics come into play, and a lot of times you have no choice. And I don't like that. It's not the way I operate. I try to be honest with everybody, and even when the truth hurts, I try to put it out there. So, I saw a lot of stuff last night. I keep getting these things sent to me, this sent to me. It just seems like there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of good information, but there's a lot of misinformation too. It's not telling the entire truth. All right? There's a lot of attacks going on FinCom, selectmen, and of course, the town manager. Somehow they're all against the schools, and nothing could be further from the truth. Over my experience with these people, they've been nothing but helpful, okay? It's the school department that shoots themselves in the foot. That's what it comes down to. We make our own problems, and we don't own it. Year after year after year, we start blaming other people. We need to take accountability here, okay? And again, they gave us $1 million increase, We thumb our nose down at it. Oh, that's terrible. Other districts around us are having overrides right now. You know why? Because the school departments over there spend too much money too. Towns are sick of it, okay? You can't just keep spending money with no return. You can't do it. You can't spend more money than you bring in, all right? We gotta start just doing what the other departments in town do and work within your budget. All right? I see all these professionally made graphics and videos that are being pushed on social media. People accept them as fact without even knowing where the source comes from. And I'm not here to point fingers or blame anybody, but the flyers look suspiciously like the same flyers that the MTA was handing out when we were looking for contract negotiations. So again, that's their perspective. It's not the school committee's perspective, and it's not the parents' perspective. Again, we all know politics is a big part of this, but we're quiet about it, but I'm not gonna be quiet anymore about it. Here's the reality, okay? We can go on and on about the town and all the improvements they make, okay? They're very proactive in the town with the sewer lines, the things you don't see. The water mains, the sidewalks, the streets, the infrastructure as far as the pumps for the pumping station, the generators for the pumping station. You guys don't know anything about those things. There's millions of dollars invested in that, because you'll be the first to know if those pumps don't work, because not all shit rolls downhill, okay? A lot of areas, the pump needs to pump it out. If those things go, you guys will be the first to know, because all your basements will fill up. This is called being proactive, and this is what the town does. This is where a lot of that money goes that we don't see. New fire trucks, new police cars. I see a lot of chatter about the DPW. The DPW has plenty of brand new vehicles. They're not lacking anything up there. They're not. And none of those guys will tell you that. None of those guys. They're not gonna sit there and complain that, oh, we're so underfunded. They don't complain about it. I work for the town. Everybody knows I work for the town. I see what goes on. So I see it from there, and I see it from here, and it's very disheartening. It really is. They've done all that work, everything, with the new cars, everything, okay? Millions and millions of dollars, all while keeping our tax base down here, okay? That's what attracts families to this town, is the taxes. It's low taxes. We don't ask for overrides. We live within our means. This is why people come here. And then sometimes people come here and immediately want to make it like the town they just came from, when you left for a reason. This is Saugus, yeah, things sometimes are different. But guess what? We're no different than any other town as far as spending goes. Which we try to keep within our means here at the school department, it doesn't work out. Excuse me. Now, again, our school problems stem from just like every other town, it stems from overspending. So let's stop pretending there's no accountability on this school side, because we have plenty of accountability, there's plenty of it. In fact, 90% of our budget problems are from us, from all of us, not the school committee. These guys, these guys are fairly new, but not just from the school committee, from the administration, from the teachers, from everybody. Everybody has to be accountable. I hear year after year after year the same thing. Teachers aren't appreciated. I don't understand how that's still a narrative out there. We've given a 30% raise since I've been on this board, 2019, a 30% raise. That's pretty much unheard of. Okay, we can't afford it. That's all it comes down to. And again, it's not a personal attack on anyone. It's really not. I appreciate every staff member, everything you guys do every single day of the week. I appreciate you guys coming to work. I really do. Okay, but for everything that we do, it leaves zero money for education. Zero. And full disclosure, I am married to a teacher. But my main priority, is the kids in this district and the taxpayers in this district. That's what it comes down to. It'd be nice just to have a blank checkbook, but we don't. We gotta be fiscally responsible, like I said, like every other town, every other department in this town. And again, I stood here just a few short months ago in October, okay? It was a very unpopular thing. I'm not a guy who worries about votes, I don't. I worry about being honest with you guys and doing what's right for the kids. I stood up here, and there was a big contract in front of us. Do the people deserve money? Absolutely. Can we afford it? Absolutely not. We didn't have the money. We sit there with our finance director, and she puts out our financial limitations right in front of us. We all see it. Okay, great. That's as much as we can spend? Nope, let me move the guideline. Let me move that a little bit. We're gonna spend $500,000 more, $700,000 more that we don't have. I don't know why it happens that way. So I stood here and I said, hey, if this passes, and again, once again, nothing personal, this is just a business thing. If it passes, we're going to be in big trouble. And I mean big trouble. Not just this upcoming year, which we're facing now, but next year too, the year after that, we're gonna be in big trouble. Nobody cared, nobody. Nobody stood up, nobody came to the next meeting outraged. Nobody was on social media saying, wow, what are we gonna do? Now the consequences are here, and the new narrative is let's go blame the town. It's not the town's fault. It's not the town's fault. We made this mess. We gotta work our way out of it. We keep doing the same thing over and over and over. We just don't have the money to spend. We spend way more than we bring in. This is a fixed budget. We get what we get. We never used to get $1 million over what we wanted before. We never used to get that. Now, last few years, we've got $1 million. And I'm gonna go back to one thing, okay? The distrust from the town, you know where it comes from? A couple years ago, we got $1 million, and then, I believe it was right in the summertime, they said, hey, we got a surplus here. They gave us 1.3 million more. What do? Did we bring any teachers back? Did we bring any programs back? No. We immediately reopened the contract. What does that tell? What message does that send to anybody else? It sends a pretty bad message to me. It sends a bad message to these guys. All right? And when I say nobody was paying attention, you know what? I'm wrong. These people next to me on my left, these people on my right, they were all paying attention. That's why everybody runs for school committee. So we want to right what's wrong right now. Okay? And like I said, educator pay has increased significantly. It's been about 30% since 2020. And those are facts you can't deny. I know you guys don't put them out there, but it's facts. And again, I'm not saying nobody deserves the money. They absolutely do. But we don't have it. It's like going to your uncle. He gives you $10, $10, $10, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? I need $100 this time. And he just doesn't have it. He's not going to go dip into his piggy bank to pay you. So anyway, educator pay, yep, we talked about that. One thing we can't ignore is our academic performance still ranks in the bottom quarter of the state. And again, we don't talk about that. We make excuses for it. Okay, it's been like that for a long time. When I was talking to Miss Mastrocola, when my kids were in the Waybright, there was 14, 15 kids in the class. The test scores was still in the bottom of the barrel. The only school that was doing anything was the Lyndhurst. All right, we didn't even bother mimicking what they did at the Lyndhurst. Everybody tried to reinvent the wheel, and guess what? Test scores were still in the crapper. Then we heard that there wasn't enough money for the teachers. Okay, great. So we gradually brought them up. Now we're here with 30%. Test scores are still down the bottom, but we don't talk about that, okay? There comes to a point where everybody has to be accountable. In the classroom, in the offices, up here behind the desk, everybody. So what I'm saying is, you know, we gotta kind of go back to the drawing board on this budget stuff, you know? We gotta fund what's necessary, not what's ideal. Work to pass measures that directly support students. There's nothing, no one ever sits down and goes, okay, you know, forget about this here. How are we gonna help these kids? I've never had anybody approach us about it, nobody. Okay, we're gonna make decisions that keep the district financially stable long-term. I believe Mr. Doherty touched on that a little bit during the FinCom meeting over here. Put together a solid presentation on why we need to invest in education. Not just look for the money to pay for things that we can't afford, that we already overspent. You know, and let's not forget, this is the big elephant in the room. We're facing over a $500,000 legal settlement that we have to pay. It's not the town's responsibility. It's not the insurance company's responsibility. It's the school department's responsibility. That's real money that's gonna impact real decisions. That's another $500,000 that we have to come up with. So, as you can see, we can't go to some FinCom and say, all right, hey, let's pay for all our mistakes. Let's give us $4 million. There's not $4 million to give. There's not. So we gotta start taking full responsibility for everything we did. Like I said, this situation did not happen overnight. It's been building for years. We've had 8 superintendents in 11 years. So think about that. You know, 8 superintendents in 11 years. Fixing it's gonna take discipline, transparency, right, accountability, and a willingness to tell the truth even when it's unpopular. Okay, so the misinformation, we really have to stop. Okay, the finger point needs to stop. Political, personal attacks, they gotta stop. Okay, none of that helps us, none of it. And I love when parents get involved, I really do. I think it's the best thing in the world. That's the best thing about being on school committee, is hearing from parents. I love it. But, and I love everybody's passion, but we have to do it in a respectable way. Okay, you can't just beat on these people and tell them, oh, you guys are a piece of crap, you don't care about the town. Hey, by the way, you got $3.8 million we can have for our budget? It's just not good business. You know, and remember one other thing that I said in the beginning, okay? These kids, these high school kids are on social media too. So they see everything everybody writes. Oh, these kids can't read, this kid can't do this, okay? You know, I have a big problem with that, I really do, you know? This is why I don't really engage on social media. You won't see me replying to anybody, because you know what? It's not something we should be doing, okay? We should be role models for these kids and set a good example and not show them that online bullying or the appearance of online bullying is okay. It's not okay. You know, it may not be the comment you made or the post that you made, but then you've got 40 other people who have no connections to the school saying, this guy sucks and that guy's... That's not what we're about. You know, we're about inclusiveness and we're about cohesiveness. You know, we're about working together. Like you said, I know we got a selectman here tonight. These guys, he's done nothing, actually a couple here. They've done nothing but try to help us, nothing. We gotta help ourselves. You know, we gotta help, these problems are our problems. You know, my solution isn't, I'm not going to a town meeting to ask them to break open the piggy bank. I'm not doing it. You know, I wanna be able to keep the lights on in this place. That's our goal, okay? We have 9 articles that we're gonna try to put forth to supplement education. All right, and I'm gonna tell you, you know, as long as it falls within those guidelines for the student supplemental fund?
The student supplemental.
Yeah, as long as it falls within those guidelines, that's what we're gonna do, because that goes directly to the kids' education and nowhere else. And that's what we need to do. And then we gotta try to work ourselves out of this hole that it's a self-created debt, is what we did. You know, I don't know, I'm ranting about this, but I'll tell you what, you know, our kids are definitely counting on this, so we're gonna have to take some steps to improve the district. But let's try it together, okay? Let's not get up there and bash the other departments, because it is not their fault. It is the school department's fault. It's our responsibility, and we need to take ownership of this. But it's everybody. So, thank you all for listening.
Mr. Chairman.
If it's about this, Dennis, we're gonna have to move on. Okay, that was just the chairman's report, and you can wait until public comment if you'd like.
Well, no, because I disagree with what you said.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Gould, okay, we're gonna move on, okay? It's not your opinion, it's my opinion.
So it's all right
the chairman's report.
for you to rant and rave, but not get any other opinion.
You know what, get 1,500 more votes, and you can sit over here and do what you want, okay?
Wow. Wow.
Let me tell you, I know you're talking about.
Mr.
I'm not
Chairman.
talking about
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know who you are.
Take accountability.
Who are you?
Take accountability.
I don't know.
Whoa.
This is accountability. This is what accountability is
Mr.
right
Chairman, can I make a
Time out.
motion that we just get back into the?
now. Absolutely, we're going right to the approval of bills.
Can we jump to this, subcommittee?
Yes,
I thought we passed, but
we didn't do subcommittee. Let's
We
do
skipped
sub-
that one.
oh, okay, let's do some
Full
subcommittee.
So, I'll go first. Can I go first?
Please
Thanks.
do.
All
I
right.
think you're the only
I
sub.
don't
So I'm
know,
the only
ask the-
subcommittee.
Ask the czar over here.
So I just want to give an update on the finance subcommittee. So I think it ties into, a lot of you were here before, which is great. So that's good. And I just wanted to give an update on what we talked about before. Some of the people that were here now were here. So what we talked about is our presentation of FinCom, what our plan is as a committee, how we're going to shape that, coming up with a 1, 3, and 5-year plan, trying to tie some of what we're asking to results and that type of stuff. It's a tough act to follow, but I feel like I had to give you guys an update. So for those of you that were here, I hope you got your questions answered. I think it's important for us to continue as a finance subcommittee to put out all of our information and create meaningful presentations for the finance committee, town meeting, and for everybody else. I'm open to comments, suggestions from anybody, so feel free to reach out to me. If you have anything that you'd like to see, if you have any information that you want, let me know. And I think that was the gist of what we talked about. So I'll leave that.
Thank you. Anybody else have subcommittees?
I think that's the
Okay.
only one that Matt.
If not, we're going to move on to approval of bills dated March 26, 2026, the amount of $808,195.51.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Chair will second. Any discussion? Okay, if none, Ms. McBride?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, next we have approval of an overnight out-of-state field trip, outdoor classroom at Camp Cody, Freedom, New Hampshire. Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not part of it. Is that 6th grade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, 7th grade.
7th grade, okay.
I think we're asking now for you to give us the okay to move forward with this. The teacher that's organizing it, Ms. Lurvy, 7th grade science, so it'd be for next year's 7th graders, found out the cost of the buses if we go in the fall as planned, and it was cost prohibitive. So they would like to try and move it to the spring and organize themselves a little bit better with our building PTO and try to fundraise the money so it's not going to cost the families any more than what we're originally projecting, but I was surprised at how much the buses were myself. So it was sort of stunning. So I guess I'm asking if you would approve us to move forward with the plan, and I will come back to you in the fall when we think we want to get permission, about 6 months before, because it's overnight and it's across the border in New Hampshire.
I'll make a motion to approve that we push this to the spring. That's the motion, right? And that you'll come back with details
Next spring, right?
next spring,
27.
27
Yes.
spring.
Okay. I'll second
that's
for the
okay.
proponent. Discussion? Any discussion?
No.
Okay, if none, this is the irregular. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have an approval of a grant to the BSA from Saugus Cultural Council for the amount of $595 to support a field trip to New England Aquarium.
I'll make a motion to approve.
There's nobody here for that? All right.
Well, I'm on the cultural council, I can't
Oh,
vote,
okay.
but we got 4 grants we're gonna vote. They're on the agenda from the cultural council.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, Chair will second. Ms. McBride?
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next up, we have the approval of a grant from the BSA, or to the BSA from the Saugus Cultural Council for the amount of $150 to support culturally responsive books for the school library.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Chair will second. Any discussion? Okay, if none, Ms. McBride?
Yes.
I'm sorry, is this a BSA again?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the culture.
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, approval of a grant to the BSA from the Saugus Cultural Council for the amount of $500 to support Prismatic Magic Education Laser Show. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Chair will second. Any discussion?
No.
Okay, if none?
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next up, we have an approval of a grant to the BSA from Saugus Cultural Council for the amount of $1,500 to support a trip to the theater.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Chair will second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Motion carries 4-0. Next, we have the approval of school committee minutes of March 12, 2026, open session.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Chair seconds. Anybody have a chance to look them over?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0. Approval of school committee minutes on March 12, 2026, executive session.
Make a motion to approve.
Chair will second. Any discussion? Anybody look them over? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay, next up, we have public comment. Okay, public comment, you guys come up, say what's on your mind. Just be respectful, that's all I ask. And we got a lot of people here tonight, so we're gonna have to use our time limit, unfortunately, because if we let everybody talk as long as they want, we're gonna be here for hours. And rightly so. Like I said, we wanna hear what you got to say, so come on up. Usually it's 3 minutes. Should we do 2 or you wanna do 3?
I think we can see how it goes.
Okay. Do you wanna
We'll start with 3.
You gonna time?
Right now, we're good. I can time.
All right, cool. Okay, thank you.
I want to apologize for my outburst.
No, listen, I apologize too.
Your continued reference to social media posts, I've been spending a lot of my time unpaid to share transparency. I'm not bullying anybody. I'm publishing numbers, and I do have an understanding of what's going on, and I find it insulting to say that it otherwise. But as a parent, I'm very angry, and I'm angry that you would actually take the accusation to say it's the school department when all of the financial information available says otherwise. It's extremely frustrating. But I'm going to go into what I came here to say. Good evening, members of the school committee. My name is Sarah Petrozelli, and I'm a parent and community member here in Saugus. Yes, I did just move here, and no, I don't want this to look like the town I came from. My husband was on the Little League World Series team. His picture's hanging up outside of the doorway when you walk into the Board of Selectmen meeting. So I do have a vested interest in this community, whether I just moved here or not. But I want to start with a simple fact, and that is that budgets are statements of priorities. They show us what a community is willing to invest in and what it is willing to live without. Right now, the data shows that our students need more support. State testing shows that only about 35 to 36% of Saugus students are meeting proficiency in reading and math. That might not be a stat that you like to hear, but that's the reality. And if you've been sitting on the chair since 2019, you are part of the problem.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I've been saying.
I'm not asking for a response.
Yeah, okay.
That means
Simple stuff.
roughly 2/3 of our students are not reaching grade level standards. When outcomes look like that, maintaining the status quo is not enough. At the same time, the school budget has increased by only 2 to 3% annually over the last several years. It's receiving the smallest percentage increase. The schools are funded at state minimums. While the actual cost of operating a school system, including special education mandates that you can't reduce, transportation and staffing typically grows closer to 6 to 7% just to maintain current services. To hold the current management accountable to not generating new revenue streams to keep up with what our students need is not misinformation. It's a critique on their fiscal policy. When budgets grow at half the rate of actual cost, the gap shows up in the classrooms. To better understand what that looks like in practice, I recently distributed an anonymous questionnaire to teachers across the district, asking what would make the greatest impact on their classrooms. The responses were remarkably consistent. Teachers pointed to 3 primary needs: additional classroom support staff and aides, as classroom sizes are astronomical, access to instructional materials and resources. Some noted that they were working with textbooks that they received and they need to have supplementary resources in order to teach the 1970s through to today. And they're also advocating for organized leadership so they can do their jobs well. Several teachers also expressed concerns about whether current staffing levels allow the district to fully meet the needs of students who require additional support services. The students of today do not look like the students of yesterday. They have more needs. They've lived through a pandemic. We have a large population of English learners that are coming in, and more kids are having behavioral and mental health issues. Another theme that appeared repeatedly was that some educators feel hesitant speaking publicly about classroom challenges. That makes it even more important that community members listen and help elevate those perspectives. We have schools like the Belmonte STEAM Academy, which reflects this town's commitment to science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. But a name like STEAM represents a vision, and a vision like that requires the resources and staffing to truly support it. This conversation is not about blame. It's about recognizing that the choices made in budgets have real consequences for classrooms, for teachers, and most importantly, for the students. The strength of a community schools is one of the clearest reflections of its priorities. People are also not coming to Saugus because of the education system. When the data tells us that many of our students are struggling to meet basic benchmarks, investing in education should not be optional. It should be urgent. I respectfully ask the committee to continue advocating strongly for the full level service budget request and to keep amplifying the voices of the educators and students who experience these challenges every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Oop, microphone's gonna fall. My name is Jenna Nuzzo. I am a town meeting member in Precinct 10, as well as a teacher in Saugus and a parent of 4 lovely little maniacs. So there were some things that I just wanted to address because I feel like there were some very inappropriate and irrelevant things that were brought up. And I think that a lot of people in here feel the same way. If there were any concerns about contracts, that should have been addressed during negotiations, not now when we're discussing funding for the students. Using educators' contracts as a scapegoat for budget decisions doesn't solve the problem. It avoids it. We've spent a lot of time talking about things that don't actually impact whether this budget meets level service. The question remains, are we funding our schools at a level that sustains what we currently have? The school department's level service budget is approximately $37.3 million. The school committee, you guys approved this budget that meets this. However, the current recommended amount by the town manager that was also approved by vote of the Board of Selectmen is about $1.5 million below that. The $1 million we're getting does not maintain what we have today. The gap represents real cuts, positions, supports, things that directly impact students in their education. That's what we should be discussing, not deflecting onto contracts that have already been approved. Our focus should be on what students need and whether the budget meets the needs and how we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nuzzo.
Good evening. My name is Madeline Leonard, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Saugus High School Drama Club, of which I serve on the executive board and have been heavily involved in since the spring of my 8th grade year. I'm a Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild award-winning actor, as well as the head of Saugus High Drama's costume department. The arts are an integral piece of not only mine and many students' lives, but also of a well-balanced education. The arts, particularly performance art, masterfully blend skills including but not limited to critical thinking, creativity, and language skills, and they do so seamlessly. I can speak for myself and many actors and theater technicians when I say that the art of performance allows for personal growth as an intellectual, an artist, and a human being. The Saugus High School Drama Club has achieved incredible success in the time that I've been here, and each success of ours has positively impacted both the students and the organization. The first thing that I think of when I think of Saugus High Drama's successes is the METG High School Theater Festival, in which we participate every year. Festival, or Fest, as we lovingly call it, is a high-stakes theater competition in which students from all over the state of Massachusetts come together to celebrate the beauty of theater and make lifelong memories and friendships. The competition demands perfection in everything from actors to the quality of work demanded of the productions entering the festival. Wojciech Reimagined was highly praised at the preliminary round of festival last year, and we advanced to the semifinal round of the competition where we traveled to Brockton, Massachusetts, and competed against another round of incredible productions. Following last year's festival, Saugus High School was invited to represent the state of Massachusetts, and we were the sole representatives of the state at the 2025 New England Drama Festival in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, with our production. During our time there, the entire company participated in a 3-day event full of theater, in addition to educational workshops and masterclasses designed to help both actors and technicians fine-tune their craft as artists. The entirety of the Saugus High School Drama Club thoroughly enjoyed their experiences in Wolfboro, as we made lasting friendships with students from all over the New England region and immersed ourselves in top-notch theater and theater education. The Saugus High School Drama Club has also had the absolute honor to host what has now been 3 rounds of competition for the METG High School Theater Festival. We were a host site for the preliminary round last year, and we had the honor to host both the semifinal and preliminary round this year. Saugus High School has been met with nothing but the highest praise, not only from fellow students and staff of high schools all over the state of Massachusetts, but also from the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild itself. Students, staff, and METG officials alike have praised not only our beautiful complex, but also our students' welcoming nature, the high quality of our productions, and the overall positive yet professional atmosphere we bring as hosts. Aside from our competition pieces, the Saugus High School Drama Club has also put on phenomenal musicals during my time as a participant. Our past 2 musicals, Percy Jackson and The Little Mermaid, have been met with not only praise from parents, peers, and teachers, but also the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild itself. From Percy Jackson, 3 students, myself included, were invited to audition for the Jimmy Awards, a national musical theater award show highlighting the nation's best of the best in the world of high school theater. This year, the METG meticulously selected 2 performers from our production of The Little Mermaid, one of which was myself, to audition for the Jimmy Awards again, this time under a new, highly selective scoring system. In addition to these honors, the Saugus High School Drama Club was also able to host a community event for our production of The Little Mermaid, which was geared towards bringing joy to local children in our community, giving them the chance to meet some of their favorite mermaids, crabs, fish, and even evil octopi. The community engagement was met with both high success and high praise, and the children of the Saugus community thoroughly enjoyed their time under the sea. While the Saugus High School Drama Club's achievements are an immense benefit to our students and the reputation of Saugus High School, they are certainly not free. In order to continue the elite production quality and level of art that the Saugus High School Drama Club is continuously praised and recognized for, we must maintain a sustainable budget. Even with this year's budget, which was roughly $22,000 to my understanding, and mostly student-raised through events such as canning, our drama club was worried about production costs, and we often had to keep our productions as bare bone as possible in order to conserve our funds for all 3 productions that we put on a year. While we managed to maintain our high production quality with this budget and our bare-bone finance decisions, it was an incredibly difficult challenge for our organization, and production costs quickly became stressful for us. On behalf of the Saugus High School Drama Club, I kindly ask this school committee to honor the arts by assisting us in a proper budget for our organization. The hard work, talent, dedication, and passion of the students in this organization is irreplaceable, and it is evident in our productions. However, these productions cannot properly showcase our talent and sophistication without a proper budget. As a school committee, I ask you to take into consideration how our successes bring positive attention to the Saugus public school system, especially the high school. If we can increase or at least sustain our budget, we can continue to build a lasting reputation with the state of Massachusetts and the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild as a school committed to professionalism and prestige, especially among the arts. In addition, I ask you to take into consideration the impact that this organization has on the education and future training of future generations of artists, including myself, who is intending on pursuing a career in performance art, which cannot be made possible without a proper budget. I encourage you to continue funding the arts at Saugus High School, for it would mean fostering generations of young artists and helping their dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Kevin Fontanella, President of the Saugus Educators Association. Maybe you should bring Maddie to Finance Committee and Town Meeting to advocate, because as was stated by the school committee earlier today, I believe you should be pointing out the strengths that Saugus is doing and stop talking about the doom and gloom. And I think she just did that, and also gave a very good argument about why you should allocate more money to the programs that have given good returns, like the Drama Club. I do agree with the chair that we have to talk with facts, so I'm gonna throw out one. Number one, it seemed like the chair thinks, and maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, I kind of took it that you're assuming that I'm conspiring with this Facebook group and I'm giving them slides and I'm giving them visuals. I just want to say I have not given them one slide. I have been in contact with some town meeting members. I have. And let's face it, this is a second fact. There were a lot of town meeting members that were elected because of the atrocity that happened last spring, when we lost 10 positions because of the vote that town meeting made last spring. That is why those people were elected. Some of them are here, and there's a lot of people at home that are supporting a stronger budget. The only reason why they ran this fall, or last fall, is because they are supporting a stronger budget for the schools. That is why they won. I think that is a fact. If anyone can counter that, please come up here, or any of you guys can talk to me after that. But I think that's a fact. Fact number two, the chair of the school committee just said we made 30% over the last 6 years. That means that we're the best union in Eastern Massachusetts, because I don't know anyone that's gotten 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. That is if I was that good, wow, I'd be president of the MTA right now. I'd be running for it. So I'm just going to do some math. So this year we made 1%. Last year was a good year. We made 4%. The year before that, we made 3.5%. The year before that, 3%. And then 21 and 20 COVID years, 2 and 2. That gets me to around 16, not 30. So I think we should figure out that math. I just want to see where you're getting the 30 over 6.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we can do numbers, but that just seemed very off from the paychecks that I've been getting. And a few other teachers that I was just talking to back there agreed. So in conjunction with that fact, if you look at the salary scale of all of the towns around us, if you look at Lynn, if you look at Wakefield, if you look at Melrose, if you look at Revere, if you look at Chelsea, if you look at Everett, please come tell me the salary scales that we are so much higher. If we are truly destroying this town's finances by getting so much money, by being so greedy, I really do, please look at what everyone else is making in the towns around us. Because people use us on the low end when they're trying to go to the median. I mean, we didn't even fight last year to go to the median in the Northeastern Conference or the areas around us. So I think it's a little disingenuous to suggest that we're breaking the bank. We're on the low end in the districts around us. And again, that's a fact. You can just look it up. You can just look up what teachers are getting paid everywhere, around us, right? Next. So another fact is that there were 10 positions cut last year, right? District-wide. We lost counseling positions. We lost 4 elementary school positions. Class sizes right now are at the highest that they've been in a long, long time. And our average class size is now way above the state average. And most of this class size issues are at the Belmonte. It's at one building right now. If we proceed with these constant cuts and the shenanigans that are going on with the budget, then this is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. I've already had high school teachers come to me saying, are the cuts going to affect us? Are our class sizes going to go up? And I honestly don't know. But the class size issue is a real issue. And finally, my fourth fact is this. You guys voted on a budget. Your job is to vote on a budget, a school budget. The selectmen just voted to cut $1.5 million from the budget that you democratically voted for. Your job is to fight for the budget that you voted for and not say thank God for the 1 million that they're giving you. And I expect all of you to go to FinCom and at least fight for the budget that you voted for. Your name is on that. You publicly raised your hand and voted yes. If you say, nah, what I voted for wasn't good enough, I'll take the 1 million that the selectmen are gonna give us. I think everyone in this room is gonna know this. I mean, sorry, I'm on school committee in another town. I could not imagine not going to the floor town meeting and defending the budget that I voted for if there was going to be one position cut, not 10, not 4 elementary school teachers, leading to class size of 28, 29. I'm not even gonna talk about high needs population. I'm not even gonna get into that. I could keep going, but these are facts. These are numbers. I am not making anything up. I am not lying. I am not exaggerating, okay? We need you to fight at the finance committee presentation. You must sell a good story, and you must make good arguments for the budget that we need. I think we need more than the level service budget, but we have to start somewhere. And you voted for that budget, and you guys, I want all 5 of you, well, sorry, that's a lot, but like, let's say 2 or 3 of you at town meeting to also support that budget. You're going to have people here that support you. We want to be on your team, but we will not be on your team if you support anything less than the budget that you voted for. That's it.
Mr. Fontenelle, can I just say one thing? And this
Sure.
is, okay.
Sure.
I'm sorry if I insulted anyone. I'm not trying to insult the teachers. I'm just giving some facts that we spend more than we bring in. But at the same time, like I said, we all got to be a little bit accountable, you know? So I apologize if I insulted you. I'm speaking to a room full of teachers. I don't expect anybody here to be happy about it. I don't. But in the back of your head, you got to say, okay, yeah, maybe we do spend more money than we bring in. That's a problem. That's all I'm saying. We can all work together to get this done. Okay, but I'm not trying to insult the teachers. You guys know that. You guys know me, that if you ever need anything, you come to me. I'm not looking to insult you guys. I'm just trying to put out other facts.
I would,
know?
if you, this is public, huh?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you insulted all of us and voted for a better budget, please insult me. Please rake me over the coals. In the end, the kids matter. We need
100%,
more teachers
100%.
and more paras. You can insult me all you want. I get insulted by everyone in my life. It's fine. We need a better budget. That's what this is. Like, it's about the kids. It's about class size. That's all this is. It's not about like politics. This is it. That's it.
Thank you very much. Anybody else coming up?
Oh, hi, Joe DeFlippo, town meeting member, precinct 4. So I want to carry on. There was a lot of good conversation at the meeting before this, the finance subcommittee meeting, that I want to, because it's a big group and, we have TV. So I do want to highlight the point, school committee and the school department put together a budget. What the town presented created a delta of $1.5 million. That $1.5 million being asked for is not a surplus. It's not a big ask. It is to maintain the current service level of the public school system, right? A lot of people have said and dump on the schools saying they're not doing well. Oh, they're having cuts. Class sizes are high. I do not understand basically how you continue to, propose such a deficit of $1.5 million and expect anyone to succeed, right? That amount of money will lead to additional layoffs, which lead to larger class sizes on the already, absurd sizes we have today. So one of the things that I wanted to do, as a part of town meeting, is help bridge the gap. And sorry, I'm a little circular. I didn't prep this ahead of time. Okay. But I noticed a lot of big silos between communication from school department, school committee, the town, selectmen, et cetera, so on and so forth. So from the town meeting side, we are open for business. We want to collaborate. We want to help move this thing forward instead of doing the whole finger pointing game. I don't find it to be productive. That's not great. So one of the things I wanted to ask if someone can help us with is the Schedule 19 calculations and any details around chargebacks. So that should help provide, transparency to the whole process, a little bit of clarity for all of us around. Second, Brian made a good point on at the subcommittee meeting. So to prep for finance committee, right? You got to put together a good message and tell a story and provide context. So current state of affairs, you don't have to paint it all to be bad, but you need to go there with justification as to why you're requesting the money you're going for. Because if you're going up against an audience that doesn't understand the background as to what you need, they're going to vote it down because they don't understand. So that's my ask. You can definitely reach out to me, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
I think it's important for everybody here to know, in response to what you're saying in terms of a plan, that was probably one of the first things this committee discussed, is the importance of the finance committee presentation and having the plan and selling it. So I just want to say that for everybody in the room, that was probably one of the first discussions that we had, so it's happening, just so everybody knows that, because I think it's clear that we all want the same thing, and just to reinforce what you're saying, we're saying it too.
Yeah, I don't want to construe it as I'm saying there is no plan, but, so also in addition to that, right, so we're talking about this year level, we want to maintain current operation.
That's right.
Roadmap, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, to help paint that picture, tell that story.
That's right.
Because the schools have been so egregiously underfunded for years, you got to come back. So you really need to start seeding that information and messaging now to help change the mindset and create a level of understanding. So that's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, can I just add on to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it ties well into what I was going to say at the end. So, just to Joey's point, the finance subcommittee this year was the first time that there were parents on the finance subcommittee. In the past, it was 2 school committee members, Paula and Mike, which was great, but there was not a lot of input. It was kind of a, oh crap, we didn't get what we asked for, let's figure it out. What I've said, and I said before, this is a marathon, right? So it's got to mature over time. But what we need to do and what we plan to do is put together that 1, 3, 5 year plan. We plan to meet periodically with the town manager, with the selectmen, with town meeting. Because my experience in my 20 years in Saugus, that's really never happened, right? So we have to move forward with what we have. We're going to request our budget and we're going to fight for it. No one's saying we're not. But we also have to change the way that we do things as a town. And I'll tell you the one thing, and this is as a parent, not as a school committee member. If one more person says the schools or the town, they don't know what they're talking about. Because the schools are the town, right? Why do people live in Wellesley? Why do people live in Newton? Because they have great schools, right? So I think it's important to stop saying the schools and the town and start to say the town, and we're one. But we can't be siloed on our own and saying all these things and going off the rails. We have to be one group, and if we're not going to get anywhere. So that finance subcommittee for I'll say it again. We're gonna present to FinCom. We're going to have a good approach, and then we're going to have a whole year of periodic meetings where everybody's involved in all these discussions. And what I ask of all of you is come to these meetings in August. Come to these meetings in September, October, November. That's when we're talking about all this stuff. That's when it's happening. I love to see it, but we just need to be one town. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Sardi. Anybody else?
My turn.
This Marchese's coming up.
Good evening, Elizabeth Marchese, precinct member for, town meeting member for Precinct 6, 34 School Street, Saugus, Mass. I first have to ask, the chairman's report, was that agreed upon by all 4 of you before I make any further statement?
The chairman what?
The chairman's report and the
Absolutely
statements
not.
made during it. I would like to
Absolutely not.
know before I make any
I didn't say it
statement.
represented everybody. The chairman's report's the chairman's report.
Okay.
I didn't say it represented everybody.
But before I go
That's all.
forward, I would
That's
like
all.
to know. Good evening. I had no intention on speaking tonight, but now I'm speaking tonight because what we witnessed at this meeting, should concern every resident in this town. The chair of the school committee is not appointed by the town manager.
Here we go.
He is elected by the people to represent students, families, and the educational interests of the community. That role requires independence, integrity, and the ability to advocate without influence or pressure. However, tonight we saw something very different. We saw the chair of the school committee, who is also an employee of the town, stand before the public and repeat almost verbatim the position of his boss, the town manager. Not just a similar viewpoint, but language and framing that clearly originated from that office. That is a problem. Whether intentional or not, it creates a direct conflict between professional obligation and elected duty. It raises serious concerns about undue influence, and it undermines the independence that this committee is supposed to have. Under the Massachusetts Conflict of Interest Laws, Mass General Laws 268A, public officials are not only expected to avoid conflicts, they are expected to avoid even the appearance of a conflict, because public trust depends on it. And right now, that trust is shaken. Residents should never have to question whether decisions are being made in the best interest of our students or filtered through the priorities of town administration. This is bigger than one meeting. This is about the integrity of the school committee as a whole. For that reason, I am respectfully calling on the chair to step down from his position, not as a personal attack, but as a necessary step to restore confidence, ensure independence, and protect the credibility of this body moving forward. Our students, our educators, and our community deserve leadership that is questionably their own. Thank you.
And duly noted, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, me.
Okay, let's let the crowd talk first. Then you can speak. You'll be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, thank you.
I just want to know if you think it's a conflict of interest. I heard you're a town employee and you're paid as part of the town payroll.
Absolutely, yes.
Do you find it to be a conflict of interest that you then have to advocate against your boss's recommendation?
I'm not advocating against anybody.
I'm asking a question.
No, and I'm answering the question.
You're
I'm not
advocating, so
against
his budget, recommendation is 1.5 million less.
You guys are taking that, what I said was, we
We're-
need to handle our own problems. We
You're-
make our own problems. That's
You're
all I'm saying.
acting like
We
the
need
school
accountability.
is responsible for generating revenue.
Is
It
that
is
what I said?
not. Yeah, you said,
Well, I said we
you
get a
said we
bottom line
spend
budget.
more than we make.
We get a
You
bottom
said
line
we
budget.
spend more than we make.
And we spend more than we have, 100%.
Yes,
100%.
because the needs of the students.
Okay, but we have a budget. It
Yeah,
comes to
okay,
us,
so
and we
do you
have
want
work
to
within
tell
that
little
budget.
Jimmy
That's
that
all.
he can't go to special education classes because sorry, we're not going to overspend on our budget? I don't feel like advocating for you because my boss might fire me.
Yeah,
Because
that's,
I'm pretty sure you're making about $150,000 a year for facilities, no?
I am?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. You
I'm
guys,
saying,
listen,
you have a
now-
huge
now we're-
conflict of
now we're
interest
starting
and you
to get
shouldn't be
personal.
in that seat.
Now we're starting to get personal.
You shouldn't be in that seat.
Okay, well, you shouldn't be over there because you don't know what you're talking about. That's all. All right? That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay? I'm not here to hurt teachers. I am here to tell us where our money is going. And nobody seems to give a crap. Everybody just keeps looking over. It's fine. I'm a room full of teachers. Having the courage to stand up and talk in front of you people is tough. But someone needs to do it.
Okay, here's where I'm gonna come in, and I'm just gonna have everybody take a breather. Because I understand that what I'm Wendy Magliozzi, by the way. I work at the Belmonte. I'm very lucky to because I love my job. I love the kids. I absolutely do. And I also have a third grader who just took the MCAS, so he crushed it. So we did good. So, with that being said, I've been a parent. There are a lot of parents that have been in this town forever, and we do care. And it's a great thing to care. There's nothing like doing something for your kids. You get fired up. You want the best for them, and that's what we're all here for. But we have to be kind because Tommy has done years and years of good for the kids. I know there's a difference of opinions here right now, and I get that. but nothing is gonna solve itself. And that's all we're trying to say, is we are in a hole. And when I tell my kids, you put yourself in a hole, here's a shovel, you dig out of it, is kind of what you're saying, I get it. But we can help shovel to make it easier, all right?
100%.
And that's what we can do. And to your point, right now, my teenage son is a liability on us. He brings, I said it, you bring nothing to the he doesn't have a job. It's handout, handout, handout. I'm not gonna give up on him because the goal is, again, I'll give my blood to do whatever, because later on, I have hope that there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. There's hope. So if we all can just put the finger pointing down for a little bit and try to start small. Like the cafeteria, for instance, the cafeteria. If you wear an iWatch in the cafeteria at the Belmonte, kids look forward to lunch, right? There's 200 kids in that cafeteria. Your alarm goes off. Warning, warning, you're right? And half of the time, it's an environment that the kids probably aren't enjoying, they're not eating, and it's no one's fault. It's the cafeteria, this is where they have to go. Yes, we have new needs, they do their best, but it's a lot. So I just say, let's just start small, and maybe if we can find ways to take down the noise of the cafeteria, and if we keep on doing stuff like that, we can chip at the big picture. So I just rambled, but I had to say something because I got nervous. So thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, if not,
Yeah,
then
it's
Mr.
me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna say something.
Okay.
Just because I want to. It has nothing to do with either side, but it's just a fact that I want to share. My daughter's in third grade,
Can
Kendall.
you just state your name for the record?
Yeah,
sir?
Ryan Collins, Kendall,
Thank you.
Collins, my daughter, she's in third grade. Struggling with math this year, specifically fractions, was getting kind of poor test scores. I, for the last 2 weeks, have just been spending 10, 15 minutes with her after school going through it, and she got 100 on her last test. I don't want that to be taken either way or the other, or just to say that I've noticed spending a little bit of extra time with her myself is improving her test scores, because it sounds like people are really concerned about test scores. Just not a call to action, but just food for thought.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, if not, I'm going to open it up to members. Mr. Gould, go ahead, sir.
Okay, first of all, I didn't like being insulted by you. I thought it was so unprofessional and uncalled for, and I would like a public apology. That being said, the demographics in Saugus have changed unbelievable in the last 10 years. And if you look at, EL and the handicapped and the needs, special needs, and all the stuff we have, and we need the paras, we need the teachers, we need new needs. We have a budget that was level service budget that we passed as a 5-member board, not as an individual. As a 5-member board, we passed that we should be supporting and figure out how do we pitch it. When I asked Brian to try to honcho presenting this to Finance Committee, my intention was to keep politics out of it, but it seems like it's getting in here real quick. We should be going to there and saying, look, the town has more money than they're allocating. Mr. Crabtree even said that in his meeting, that he's being conservative. Him and Wendy are being conservative, so they have extra money at the end of the year. And why wouldn't he? Because he gets measured on how much money he has at the end of the year and how he does bond ratings and all that stuff. Great for him. But there's money available. There's $14, $15 million. It ends up being called free cash, but it's not free cash, it's revenue. It's money coming in that we're not spending because we're being conservative. Take 1.5 million of that and put it towards the schools this year, and then let Brian and his new team work on a long-range plan. It's a great plan. But we need to support what we got as a level service budget. And for one, and by the way, I just want to make sure it's clear. The chairman didn't run by what he was going to say tonight, and I didn't agree with a lot of it, but I'm not going to nitpick the whole thing. But I am insulted, and I'm really pissed. Thank you.
Duly noted, thank you. Anybody else get something to add?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to add on, can I
Go ahead,
end on
sir.
a good note? So, Mr. Hashem, do we have students of the month in each of the schools?
I think they do in the complex. I'm not sure about the other schools.
No? So can I ask that we implement that,
Absolutely.
and that they come to this meeting, and if they come to the meeting, we'll give them a little thank you, and we'll give them a gift card, every one of the kids that's a student of the month. And it'll come out of my pocket. So we're gonna end on a good note.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Anybody else want to add it?
I think they do have student of the month at every building. I know the Belmonte does anyway. I just want to say that.
I don't think they do at the Belmonte.
At the Belmonte.
I'm completely.
I'm looking at the
I feel like
principal, so.
It's coming.
I'm completely speechless.
We will now.
I'm completely speechless tonight. That's all I can say. I'm completely speechless. I'm disgusted. I usually have a lot to say. I need to form my thoughts. Maybe take some meds before I decide what I'm gonna say, because I don't want it to come out wrong. So to be continued. Mr. Chair, I will say this. I agree with some of the stuff you said, but as far as the town, you know the way I feel. You've known.
Yeah, absolutely.
The town is not on our side with the school. They're not. They're not. I've always thought it was a battle. But again, there is a lot to take in tonight, a lot. And I'm just being completely transparent in saying that I have no words tonight. I need to leave this meeting and really think about a lot that was said tonight. And I will have more to say. So I apologize because of everybody coming out tonight, and I usually do have input. But I just really need to process what happened tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mastercole.
I mean, I'm right there with Ms. Mastercola on having a lot to process. I think for me, we're not going to get anything done on any side with contention. So I think we all need to remember that as we move forward. All of us included. I'm not excluding anybody up here from that. We're all working towards the same goal. I'm a parent. My friends are parents. I want the kids. I'm married to a teacher as well, to have what they need. But we will not get there with hostile environments. It will never happen. So, I'm committed in this seat to getting there. I think there's a lot of talk as if it's final, like we're not supporting a level service budget. I had never said that, certainly. I've never heard anybody up here say we weren't supporting a level service budget. So we very much are, but please realize, we are a cost center, and we will do everything that we can, but we are limited in some ways as well. So, for me, I think the contention and the hostility needs to end. We will get nowhere with that.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy. If nobody has anything else, we do have one thing for the agenda to add. It's a donation from Stop and Shop Give Back Bag Program in the amount of $808.91, and this is going to the VELC, I believe? Yeah, the Veterans Memorial. So,
I'll make a motion to accept.
All right, Chair will second. Any discussion on this?
No?
Okay, if none,
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it.
You have to adjourn.
Oh, I was just doing final comments.
Sorry. Everybody started moving.
Okay, we don't have, excuse me. Hello, the meeting's still going on, excuse me. All right, let everybody get out. Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0.